So, Paul,
Yes.
the game came out a couple weeks ago. We were talking, and I said, this game is pretty cool. I'm having fun with it, even though I'm not I haven't been a huge Pokemon fan, but it is causing a lot of news and a lot of media online, and I definitely want to be a part of it, and I definitely want to talk about it, because I've already been having a lot of fun with it, and mostly I've been having a lot of fun seeing what people post online about it, in terms of the pictures that they take, the screenshots, which is almost like an art in of itself, putting these Pokemon in funny places, and putting captions with like the pictures that they have where they capture them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we were talking, and we were saying, like, there aren't a lot of, there are Pokemon podcasts out there, but there aren't exactly anything that are just kind of laid back. Let's talk about Pokemon Go specifically in the community around it. So I kind of want to know what exactly, what kind of stuff do you want to talk about as far as Pokemon Go, and what kind of stuff do you think want to set us apart from other Pokemon podcasts? I definitely want to talk about the stories that people are putting out there about how Pokemon has kind of like affected their life, how they're actually going outside and finding new things around their town that they haven't actually seen before, and different stories that people are posting on Reddit. And I'd love to get a lot of feedback from the community, and ultimately be a part of that community, where people can either write in or call in and kind of like say, like, this is how Pokemon has been helping me, this is how me and my friends have been having fun with it, and this is where I think it's going to go in the future. But so far, what do you think? Like, how are you having fun with it, and what are you looking forward to online as far as the Pokemon Go community?
Yeah, so I agree. I think there's I agree that there really shouldn't be much of a structure to this podcast, to these discussions. I think I'm all for making it an open discussion that we can get a lot of input from listeners, from Redditors, from people all around, and talking about just kind of talking about what's new, and the kind of news with regard to Pokemon Go, what people are doing on any given day, different stories, like you said, and how people, again, kind of like what you said, how this app is really kind of affecting people's lives, on like a smaller scale and a larger scale, but just it's bringing a very large community together very fast, with the amount of just memes and pictures, like you said, that are showing up online, and it's really a fun thing to be a part of, and I would love to just kind of take a greatest hits of that, and discuss it and talk about it, and just have fun with it.
Right, and one thing that we kind of have, which will be posted in another episode, is kind of like, I personally loved the Pokemon culture and loved the TV show, but I wasn't involved in the games, and so right now I have very little idea of what I'm actually doing as far as the Pokemon Go app goes. But
Right.
I would love to get better at it, and like learn about different things from the community about it, and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be really awesome if we take me, who has not really a lot of idea in terms of Pokemon game, Pokemon battling, and stuff like that, and you, who, as you'll see in future episodes and stuff, about how you have experience with the games, and the different techniques of using Pokemon and stuff like that. I think it'll be really fun to talk about both what's going on with the app, and what's coming in the future, and what's going on with the culture and the community around it, like you said. Because we've seen memes, we've seen people already analyzing the app and saying, oh, like, this is what is really behind the incense object, and like, this is really, the best way to, best locations to find these certain Pokemons. But I personally really want to hear the stories of people who are using it, where they're actually going out into their towns, meeting up with people, and learning a lot about where they live and about the community in general. Like, I think that is super fun, and honestly, this seems like the first thing of its kind that is actually getting people out of their homes and almost forcing them to meet other people and to work together.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a little it's a different kind of we've had games obviously over the past decade plus that have those online elements that you play games with other people halfway across the world, but this kind of takes that and brings it to a much more personal level where you leave the couch and you can actually you go to Pokestops where maybe people have placed lures or whatnot, and that tends to bring in a couple extra people, and whether you're actually interacting or everybody's just individually staring at their phones, who knows, but hopefully there will be some amount of interplayer interaction there, and it's a cool thing that's going on, and it really makes a pretty unique environment that surrounds this game, and I agree. I'm all about just talking about it and just getting caught up with it, getting totally engrossed with it, and just having fun.
Right. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be extremely fascinating talking about the social implications for this game, because now that this technology is out, where you are basically creating this augmented reality between the real world and the showing the Pokemon, there is so much more that could be done with this in terms of updates with this game and introductions of other games, that it is going to be just a growing organic kind of like thing where people are going to be, there's going to be new things coming out, there's going to be new stories, new experiences to talk about, and I'm just excited to hear about all these people in the community talking about how they have these unique experiences, talking about how people are getting help psychologically, physically, bringing communities together, but also there have been, some stories out where, there have been accidents, there have been people who are, getting into trouble with these kinds of things. I definitely want to talk about that in the future and staying on top of, that kind of stuff. I mean, like we said, where we've had experiences in our schools where stuff like that was banned. Who knows if this gets to a certain level where there's going to actually be like government implications in terms of this. Like if this opens up a whole new way to interface with the world through your technology, through your cell phone and stuff like that, like who knows when it's going to get to a point where, I mean, even, establishments like restaurants or stuff are going to be like, hey, like either using it to their advantage where they're like dropping lures and having specials in terms of, having Pokestops around or having, rewards for coming to the restaurant through the game, or they're saying, hey, we don't want that here, and this is causing issues with us, and that's going to rile up the community for sure and cause some pushback. So I'm really excited to get into that, have relaxed conversations, crack open a drink, just lay back and talk about our experience with this, and I'm really stoked. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yep, I completely agree. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. And also, one other thing that I'd love to, speaking about interfacing with the community, I would really love to have kind of like contests where we say like, send us your photo that you have captured where you're capturing the Pokemon. What's like the most unique location that you caught a Pokemon. Send us a picture of maybe a beautiful landscape with the Pokemon in it. Tell us a really awesome story about how this game has affected your life, or different things like that. And maybe we could give out some prizes. Like, I'm into 3D modeling and 3D printing. I would love to start 3D printing like these different team badges and gym badges and Pokemon merchandise that we could have specific to our conversations in our podcast, and get people on board, become regular listeners and really have fun with the community.
Yeah, that all sounds pretty incredible. I definitely agree to add to the community and just bring together our own subgroup within this community that's able to get together and discuss and share photos and whatnot, like you said, and share stories, and yeah, I think that can definitely happen.
Awesome. I'm excited for future episodes then.
Yes, can't wait.
All right, awesome.